So, hello friend. Before we start with this today's topic of computer networking, let's take a very common and the well-known example of how a person who is sitting at a location A, say Kolkata, is able to send a mail or any WhatsApp message to any person B who is far away, say in Delhi. And before we go deeper into what actually is going on here, we have already seen in the communication that when we are willing to send the voice, audio, or video signal, which comprises of obviously different amplitude and different frequencies. We use different modulation technique, and one of them was the pulse code modulation, in which we have seen that first of all the messages is quantized into discrete levels, and these levels are encoded into bits, binary bits, and these bits were represented by some coding scheme, and the these bits were transmitted by if we talk about on off coding scheme. So 0 is represented by no voltage and 1 represented by 5 voltage. And accordingly, the coding is done. And this signal is being transmitted over the wired medium. If you have that background or that information, so from that, we have already understood that for transmission of any messages, whether it is a voice, audio, or video, we required finally that to be converted into bits of stream 0101 something like that. And that stream could be represented by some sort of voltage schemes, and that voltage could be sent over the wired medium, and then the change in the voltage could be noticed by the receiver on this medium, and the sender or the transmitted bits are basically received or deciphered. That was the technique in the communication. The we can say कि generally यही होता है in communication, ठीक है? But in networking, we are not limited to only voice, audio, or video. For the sake of our understanding, here when we talk about the transmission of data, we'll say that it may be a voice or video or audio or a graphical data or a text or something like that. Any sort of data talking about. Also, just keep in mind that we are when we are talking about the transmission, for the sake of understanding, we will limit ourselves to the transmitted transmission is being done by the wired medium. Okay, by the wired medium. However, we have already seen that transmission could also be done wirelessly, as in the case of Wi-Fi, wireless fidelity, or in the case of Bluetooth. But what is the limitation over here? The limitation is the range over which the data can be transmitted. For example, in Bluetooth, we already know 10 meters to 100 meters, and Wi-Fi some sort of 100 meters to 200 meters. Depending upon the strength of the router, you can send transmit the data. Okay. But here, what we are talking about, we are talking about transmission to over a very long distance. So we can include a large numbers of the network elements in this. Also, understand that we are limiting ourselves just for the sake of understanding to a text message. To a text message. And why we are limiting ourselves to the text message? Because we can draw a similar analogy of how do we send in earlier days the postcard, how we were able to send the postcard, or even in the current scenario, how we are able to send the couriers. We have couriers, we have deliveries that is being sent. When you purchase something from Amazon or Flipkart, it is being delivered. So it goes to various hubs and then reaches to you. We will draw that analogy. Okay. So just keep in mind that although during the course of this entire video, when we talk about the transmission, although we are limiting ourselves to the wire, but can be done wirelessly also, and we are limiting ourselves to the data that is being transmitted as a text message, but the same could be done for the any sort of information. As we have seen in the communication that can be transmitted, the voice, audio, and video could be converted into the 010101, and similarly, all sort of data can be converted into this 0101 streams. Why 0101? Why? So why we are converting it into binary bits? That was done by the help of the encoder. Here, when we talk about any data, any sort of data, it could be audio, video, or text, or any other visuals data. That data is ultimately converted into 010101, and that is being done by the computer. We have already seen there are various elements in the computers. I'm not going to tell in that. So basically, these data are converted into 010101, and then it is transmitted wherever the computer want to transmit. That is the story. So in computer network, what we are going to do actually, we are interested in in understanding basically how email, or for example, when I say data, you just for simplicity understand that we are talking about an email or a text data. How a data travels from point A and reaches to point B. Okay, the same data reaches to point B. We are only interested in dealing with this scenario in computer network. And this is not as simple as it seems that. It includes large numbers of steps. and different numbers of protocols that we are going to discover as we move on with this video. See, first of all, the very basic requirement, just think as a layman that the very basic requirement that if you want to send a hello to, let's say this is in Kolkata and this is in Delhi, the very basic requirement, just think of it, that you want to send a hello to someone sitting in B at location B, which is like far, far away from a location A, how would you send it? The very basic requirement is to convert this into bits 010101 because this could only be transmitted over the wires and could be sent to B. The very basic requirement is first make a channel between A and B. If you want to send a data between A and B, just make a channel. Let us understand that we directly connect A and B with a wire. Okay, let this be the wire. We have seen how data can travel on the wire. We have gone through the channels and everything in the communication topic. I'm not going to include that details over here. Just understand that this is a medium over which we can send these bits. Like we can transmit this bit 010101. This bit is received by B and he can collect this bit and then again convert back to the message. So if I type hello over here, this hello first need to be converted, okay, in this bit, and it need to be transmitted. And before transmission, we need to ensure that the connection is being established between A and B is ready to receive the data. Okay, if B is ready to receive the data, we can send the data from A. As soon as the A starts sending the data, we say that transmission is being started. Okay. So before that, before the transmission, let us come how hello is being converted into A 10101. So we use ASCII coding. We use the ASCII coding technique. See, the computer converts every character. Here we have 4 different characters, H, E, L, O, into ASCII codes. What are the ASCII codes? There is the code assigned to each character. For example, for capital E, small a, there are different codes so that each character could be uniquely identified. Let's say with the small l, it is 108. For small o, it is 111. Now, these characters can be like if you are sending 72, it would be understood that you are transmitting capital H. But you cannot send 72. You have to convert this into binary. For example, the equivalent binary would be like this. Similarly, for all, you convert to binary. And now these binary data are being transmitted. Okay. And then these data are transmitted and being received by B. And then B again see what sorts of data has been transmitted. 100010. And then it's again understand that it will obviously there will be like some sort of mechanism will be introduced to understand that the transmission of one bit has been done or one character has been done. So this could now be interpreted into H. Another bits will be received, could be interpreted into E. Another bit could be received, could be interpreted into L, and so on. Some mechanism should be there, and that mechanism we will see in the later video, later duration of this video. And this mechanism is termed as the protocols. So we will learn about it. If you're not able to understand what is protocol, do not think too much over it. Just go with the flow. Okay. So now we have understood the first requirement that this word is now converted into this bits. So now in the later part of the video, when I talk about that we are sending bits or the stream of bits, do not get confused of how bits are coming into picture. Ultimately, this is how the bits are coming into pictures for transmission. So whenever now in the later part, I say that we have streams of bits being transmitted. Okay. So just understand that this is a bit, but actually the message was hello and can be converted into streams of bits. Correct? Okay. Now let's move further. We have converted into these bits. Okay, done. Now A and B has to be made ready. Communication channel has to be established so that when the data is being transmitted, it does not like go to the receiver and B is not ready to pick it up, so it get discarded. Should not be the situation. Might be one of the possibility, but for the sake now we understand. Let us assume that B is ready to receive the data. So once the data started to be transmitted, we received it and deciphered it. This is one of the very basic and very simple technique in which we can transmit the data. So where networking is coming? So networking is coming and say A and B are taking as the computers. They are where they will read the message on the computer. So B is also operating a computer. So computer we have understood, the transmission we have understood, where do the network come into picture? See, here we are only talking about two computers, like computer A is communicating with computer B. But this is the very ideal and a very simple situation. But like we could have the multiple computers, okay, at one place, at different place, large number of computers, okay, at one place or a different place. Say in Delhi only, there could be like a simple, like in single location, there could be large number of computers will be present, and we need to communicate with each of them. So when communication is done simultaneously with large number of computers, it forms a network. Okay. So this is the computer networks. You getting my point? Communication is being simultaneously done with large number of computers. Okay. So now in our sort of scenario, what we are assuming that A is sending the data and F, C, E, B, and D all have to be simultaneously ready for receiving the data. Okay. But what if C and D also simultaneously want to send the data? This could be a possible scenario. What if D and E simultaneously want to communicate? And if E is ready and waiting for the data from A to arrive, it will obviously reject the request being generated by D to send the data because it is now waiting for the data from A. So all this complexity, we'll go on solving it one by one as we proceed with the video. But just understand this communication structure forms the network. Okay. At the very first end, you might be thinking, sir, okay, if we are sending a data between, say, suppose A and F, so F must be ready to receive the data. So F must know that A is sending the data. So if F must know that A is sending the data, that means there should be some sort of communication between A and F before actually we start sending the data. So how we are able to reach F before actually we are sending the data? Like we are reaching F to tell it that we are sending you some sort of data, be ready for the to receive the data. So how at the very first point we are reaching F to communicate this message only that be ready to send the data? How is that been done? We understood that there is a channel between them. A channel will be established, but it will only be established that once we are able to reach to F. So that also is one question, and we will say how we can do that. Just I'm raising different points that you should be able to think like in different views, in different points. Also, sir, it could be a scenario that A is wanting to send the data, but F is not available at that time. And for example, if we are sending the data from India to America and A if is in America, there is a difference in the time zone. We want to send the data A in the evening, but might be at that time F is sleeping. So how do I ensure that if A is sending the data and F must be available, that will not be the scenario all the time. So practically, this is not being done. What is actually being done? There is a other entity that is in the picture, which is known as the server. So A basically sends data to the server. Server is also a computer. Okay. It is always operating. It does not need to be manually get ready or something. It is always in the ready position. A sends the data to the server. Server is nothing but a computer, but a special computer, we call it as a server, which is always ready, always operating. Okay, like we have seen that Amazon has a server, Flipkart has a server, every company has its server. Server is a computer. Like Google is also having a server. For example, you are using Gmail. So when you send a message, it does not go directly to B. It goes to the server. The server receives the message, send you a confirmation. Yes, I have received the message. I am stored it. The server now must know where to send and from where it has received. Though also with the message that you are sending, hello, there's some sort of additional information must be sent. Okay, this is called the payload. This actually is called the payload. That means the data that you are sending. And then some additional information must be embedded along with the payload so that the server must know because from where the data is coming. Why? Because it is not the only computer which is communicating with the server. There are multiple number of computers. So server must have some mechanism to differentiate which computer is sending me to data and where I have to forward that data. For example, let's say this is what is called as the header and this is called the footer. So before the actual payload start, it sent some information. Say suppose it say I am A, and it says that it may include this message in here only, but for in our current scenario, let us understand that it is at the end of the message, it is also including some additional information saying that to E. This is our protocol that we are defining. This is our rule. Protocol means rule. This is just our rule that we are defining. That I say that I will whatever data I will receive. This computer is saying whatever data I will receive, I will just in the front add my computer name A, and to whom I want to send the data, I will send that computer name. And to differentiate between my computer name and this computer name, I will send an asterisk in between and end of the message. Okay. This protocol is uniform for this computer and the server. The server now understand how to deal with the data that are being received. So it will receive a data from A. It will see where the star ends. Okay. The star ends over here. And then just after is what the address to where the data has to be sent. It will keep and store it. Okay. Then again, we can do the similar thing and large number of computer can do the similar thing. Computer E is also connected with it. Whenever E is ready, whatever time it may be, it will transmit the data to E. So at this point, what is happening? A need not wants E to be ready whenever it want to transmit the data. It may send the data to server. Server will store the data, and it may send the data to E whenever E is ready. Now the server is taking care that when A is ready, when E is ready, and simultaneously they both can communicate how through a middle entity which is known as the server. And this model is known as the server client model. Practically things goes like that. But again, I'm telling you, for the sake of understanding, let not go like that. Let us understand that the data is directly being transmitted between point A and B. Okay. And there are only two computers which are now wanting to transmit the data. Practically also, it is not all the time that server is like involved, or two server may also, let us understand A and B are two server also. Let us understand like that. A and B are two computers. Simply let's say it is two computers. They want to communicate. Just keep in mind this in mind. Okay. So three things you need to understand. I have made you clear that this is not the practical scenario. Practical scenario is something else. But for the sake of understanding this entire topic, we are making things simpler. We are sending streams of bit between two computers. Okay. Practically, also, the server directly sends data to another server. One server directly sends data to another server, and that is done by another protocol, that is FTP protocol or secure file transfer protocol. We will learn about this, but practically things are done also like this. So now, I think there is some sort of like infrastructure we have built till now, a background we have set up to understand things. Now, as we proceed, as we move on with this lecture, we will understand that what could be the transmission mode. Don't worry, we will feel everything in computer network transmission mode. That means how we are able to send the data. Are we able to send the data simultaneously from A to B and B to A, or it is only one at a time that A can send the data to B, B is not able to send the data, or we can send the data simultaneously, like at one time both A and B can be sent the data. There could be different modes. How the different numbers of computers are connected with each other, that we differ as that we call as the topologies. There could be large number of computers in a network. How these are connected with each other, that is known as the topologies or the network topologies. Okay. And when we are further dealing with, we will see that what are the organizations or what are the network models. What are the network models? Network models means that network models mean that how the data is being processed when it leaves a computer, when it enters a network, when it reaches to the computer, how at each steps the data is being processed, and what are the protocols that are being followed. Like just we have seen one simple protocol over here, that this is the protocol when we can use. So similarly, now this is my made protocol. So if everybody will make their own protocol and start communicating, then there could not be universalization. Okay, so there should be a uniform protocol that everyone should follow so that the communication from any point to any point could take place. So that protocols we will read in network models. And the most common protocols or the most common network model is called the Open System Interconnect or OSI 7 layers model that we will be dealing in its entirety. So like this is all that we are going to deal in the computer networks. Have patience, stay with me. Not a single topic you are going to miss on this entire computer network. We will deal with every single topic, starting from the different topologies and the different networks models, transmission modes, everything. And then we will move on to OSI here. So, okay, guys, so we'll be stopping here. And in the next video, we will starting with the unit one, that is the computer networks and different modes of transmissions and topologies. Okay. Then we will move on to open system interconnect and accordingly we will proceed. But this, I have given you an overview, what we are going to deal in with the computer network and how the things are actually happening. Thank you.